Hi guys,
Hello people.
I'm Milena,
I'm Lola.
and we're watching Mob Psycho.
It's episode 6 of season 2. How? 13?
I think
Is
12.
it 12? Okay.
I don't know. Did the first season have 13 or 12?
12?
Then the second has 13. The season is the third season coming really fast.
I feel like
soon.
did I read October in my mind? So season 3 apparently is starting in October. And when do we catch up? Well, like in 6 weeks. 7.
Huh? We catch up in 7 weeks? Apparently we catch up 2 weeks.
After
the
first
release.
episode starts
Okay,
airing.
that's fine. So like we won't have to wait for anything. We'll be just able to watch. I love that as well.
I'm very curious to see what's gonna happen this episode because last episode was really so good. We again saw the whatever the fuck happens when he hits the question marks.
Yeah.
Whatever that force is inside him. Or whatever it is, it's confusing. Honestly, it's too abstract for me to understand.
Many people said that like he can't control.
Well, yes.
What he's doing.
I mean,
it's
that
not
has been mentioned
him.
through season 1,
in
kind
season
of.
1 as well. Yeah.
I'm still very much in the dark as to what it is and how it came to be, and I'm still like wondering that line from Scar, the organization Scar or whatever. They said only one human has been able to go through the, I don't know how they called it, but that thing that like supposed to enhance your abilities, and like only one human was supposed to went through that and like survived or whatever.
Okay.
And I keep wondering like what human is that? I don't think it's just a throwaway line. You know, I feel like it has to come back to play.
Did that line happen in season 1?
Yeah, in season 1.
No, it's funny to me why I'm mentioning it before this episode.
Oh well, because like
imagine something happens in this episode and you randomly decided to mention that line in this before this episode.
Imagine.
Do you know what I mean? I'm like randomly.
No,
like,
well, because
I'm thinking of what happened in the last episode, and all of a sudden she's talking about the scars that I forgot about.
I'm gonna take you through my mind process because if anything does get mentioned here, is it another comment? She watches in advance.
If anything happens, does get mentioned here, I'm gonna be like, you watched it. I'm gonna be like, this morning before you came here, you watched
like
it.
On my right here while I was in the car, I just like played it while driving to be like, oh, so smart. I'm gonna guide you through my thought process. I was thinking about Mob and what he has inside of him, whatever that like thing is, and if it's like, let's call it natural, or has there been, I don't know, maybe some tests that were done on him when he was a baby child, something like that. That's like where my mind goes when there's something I can't explain in Mob. Like he's not regular. He's not like, let's say, Teru, who has powers, you know? And so if he has something that's like inside him, when he goes into like question marks, like my brain goes into maybe there was some like experiments done on him when he was a child, and thus this exists. And that brings me to, there's one human that like survived some type of experiment again. I don't think it's the same thing because I'm gonna assume that the human that survived was much older, and like I don't think Mob, you know, I think if anything was done to Mob, let's say.
Yeah, and I would say definitely
was when he was a
that's what
child,
I would say.
baby.
I definitely do believe that they know who that human is.
Yeah, I think they
because,
know.
Like,
I just
Mob
don't think we know.
was there randomly.
Yeah.
They didn't know that he had powers. They didn't know anything about him, you know?
Yeah.
He was there randomly.
No, I don't think it's him either.
Yeah,
I was just like saying, that was a line that's always in my head. Like when they said it first, I thought that was Reigen. Because then suddenly he appears, right? And we thought that he was a part of the Scar. That was that whole thing that was happening. And I thought, oh, that could be him. We already talked about that. I thought that could have been him. But it wasn't. And so like then I kept having it in my mind.
But we still haven't met Leader.
I mean, no, we just saw his face when he was talking to the sun.
Yeah, but we still haven't met him.
Yeah.
We know that he exists. Everybody answered to him, but like we didn't meet him. And I think there is a big possibility that soon-ish in the season we're gonna continue that storyline.
Yeah. Anyways, that happened in the previous episode, and that was very interesting. What now?
I don't know. We'll see what this episode is gonna bring, because like there is no really a big storyline right now happening through the entire season. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the biggest storyline for me is Mob's growing up, Mob's progression, but there is not like a case that's happening throughout the whole season so far.
I'm gonna assume that the Scar bit is gonna come like towards the end of the season, much like it did in season 1. That happened towards the end of the season, and I guess it's gonna
if we
happen
continue
now again.
with it, in this season I think it's coming pretty soon.
we just continue with Mob's growth as a
Yeah.
human, and like last episode
That's
also had
my
a lot of
favorite part in this season by far.
me too. And last episode, I mean, I was editing that last episode and it was so good. Like I enjoyed every single dialogue there, and I think there was a lot of growing up there as well for Mob, you know, who realized the impact of people that people can have on other individuals, and how he wants to help other people because he said he's been very fortunate in his life to have the people that he has around him. And I thought it was really beautiful. And so I just want to see more of that. Honestly, like I have watched the growth of Mob for however long.
Yeah.
And they are giving that to us.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to see how that continues.
Me too.
Basically,
That's
where we left off. And so let's see what happens in this one.
4
years ago.
Interesting.
Is it then Reigen? Because Mob was small.
Or Red. How Rain?
It does seem like a job Rain would do.
Yeah.
Oh, he quit? Get fired? Oh, backstory of him.
Cute.
Oh.
Poor lonely Whitey.
You get a millionaire too. This is like a sidekick that took advantage of you, and then now you take advantage of other people. But like in a nice way. But like still. Cute. His backstory. I love that.
It's episode 6. We haven't seen Tero.
Tero.
Impossible. We haven't seen this group. I was so excited for this group after season 1, and why we're not seeing them?
Maybe when Scar comes back into play. Poor lonely Whitey. My boy. Poor lonely, and then you find another lonely boy. Is it
Right?
Yeah. Push-ups.
Oh, that's mom.
34. Boy, that's so good. That's so good. I love them. What a supportive group of friends. Oh, I love this. We're still trying to get him. That's so cute. My boy and his salt. In what world are they like in middle school?
I got hungry now.
I know, me too. Me too.
影山はなかなか執念深いよ。あと半年も頑張れば中学2年の平均値に届くと思うよ。いや、影山の見据える最終地点はその程度じゃないはずだ。俺たちもうかうかしてると負けてしまうぞ。好きな子を取り残さないだけなので。最初はそれだけだったけど、今は。そんなことより、この後みんなでカラオケにでも行きませんか？
He has so many friends. If Reigen calls him now, don't call him.
Oh, I think
Reigen! Leave him now.
he is not.
Don't do that, Reigen.
急なバイトが入ってカラオケには行けなくなりました。すみません。せっかくの誕生日なのに。
いや、いいよ俺たちのことなんて。気にするな。十分だ。物事には優先順位がある。仕方ないぜ。
I love them. What a great group of people. He has so many friends. Now, Reigen, we need to establish some working hours, okay?
ご安心ください。急いで私の弟子を向かわせてます。
I mean, how far away was that? Could we just go to the karaoke now?
But look at his bag.
どうした？
僕にだって学校やプライベートがあるんだからいきなり呼び出すのはもうやめてください。
プライベートってせいぜい筋トレの部活くらいじゃないのか？それかまたデート詐欺か何かに引っかかったのか？すぐ利用されるんだから成長しねえなお前はよ。
Reigen,
Don't be rude now.
why are you like this?
同級生と何やってたか知らんがそいつらはお前の理解者なのか？
Yes.
こっちは人助けだぞ人助け。しかも俺はお前の師匠。お前が自分の力をコントロールできているのは実は俺のおかげでもある。
Reigen, it's time for you to grow up. Mob has been doing all the growing
関
up.
わる相手を選べよモブ。除霊バイトができなくなるくらいだったら片方を切り捨てろ。どうせお前のことなんか大切に思っちゃいねえ。
What is happening? Why is he
弱
like
い
this?
人間を内心でバカにして楽しんでんだよ。違う。
That's right, my
ま
boy.
あそれは言い過ぎたかもし
You
れない。
think?
バカになんてしてない。
They're not.
きっとレーゲン師匠の言うことが正しいとは限らないんだ。
あ、ミスった何言ってんだモブ。疲れてんだな。
My
バカ
boy.
にされてもないし簡単に利用もされない。
いよいよばっかりやがった。やはり昨日はちょっと嫌な感じで言い過ぎたか。でもあいつが俺以外に悩みを相談できる相手なんているはずがない。俺と関わりを立てばまた元の孤独に戻る。案ずるな。
Or you.
あいつは必ずここに戻ってくる。
Literally, boy, I think you're projecting.
俺、兄さん、今日は帰りが早いんだね。
My boy, I didn't see you
お
for
かえ
a
り
bit.
リツ。しばらく師匠のところには行かないことにしたんだ。
いいと思うけど。
喧嘩だ。もうやつと決裂したのさ。
He's
He
so
lives for the
catchy.
drama.
いろいろ考えて決めた。僕は今までレーゲン師匠の言葉に乗っかりすぎてた。それで全部がうまくいくような気がしてなんか楽だったんだ。でも
成長しねえなお前はよ。
それだけじゃ良くないことに気づいたからもう少し自分のやりたいことを考え直してみる。
Me.
たまにはゲ
I'm
ー
so
ム
proud of him.
残念だったな、レーゲン。ボロを出したお前が悪い。
But it's Reigen now alone, actually.
この家業はもともと俺の身一つで成立してきたんだ。モブがいなくて困ることなんかあるか。そうだよ。人件費だって削れるし、ガキの思春期相談だって聞かずに済む。時間は有限だしな。悪いなモブ。お前の計算外だろうが、俺は全然悔しくないぞ。
The
今
lies.
頃寂しがっている
Please.
だろうがな。
He's having the best time. Aww.
大人な俺は事情も察せるし、気にしてないというのに。
Oh, look at his jumper. He has dog. You're a grown ass man. What is this
何
boy?
隠れてんだ、てめえ。モブの方は心配すんなよ。楽しそうだから。
あいにくだが心配なんかしてないな。
そりゃよかった。茂雄はお前のこと全く何にも気にしてないみたい。
Dimple!
世話だね。
俺から遠ざかればモブはますます能力を使わなくなるぞ。お前はただの中学生の金魚の糞をこの先もずっとやっていくのかよ。何も起きない日常に身を置くことを選んだモブに利用価値はもうない。ただの中学生にひっついてせいぜい楽しく過ごしたらいい。その間に俺は次のステージに行かせてもらうぜ。
まあ、相変わらず元気そうで何より。そんなギャグが言えるくらいなら心配ねえな。もう二度と会うこともないかもな。
Dimple knows what he's doing.
Dimple destroyed him.
Dimple killed him. I know, I feel sad now. He actually has nothing.
Maybe we're not that happy about his
ページの更新でもする。
backstory.
No.
そういやしばらくフレンドブックチェックしてなかったな。
Friend book.
今は SNS でいつでも知人と交流できるから便利な時代。
He's so alone.
メッセージ来てるじゃん。放置してて悪かったな。私生活
Is it from Mob?
誰だ
Like a while back.
高校の時の。そうか。すっかり忘れてたな。
No, I'm gonna cry.
マジかよ。
Okay. Here's my gift to you.
電波で脳内メルト感じる修行はまだ途中
Boy, you're not hitting any beats.
That's me.
レモンサワーサワー多めで
お酒大丈夫なの？
ああここの常連はマルチ商法やエセ宗教などに引っかかりやすい体質のものばかり俺みたいな業者にとっては格好の釣り堀相談を聞いて適当な助言をするだけでやたら慕われる俺にとって友人に近いのか
What is this episode?
This is so sad.
俺今日誕生日なんだ
おめでとう。
逆効果だったな誰とでもいいから会話しようなんて俺って友達いなかったんだな
アルコール抜いといたのに。
俺もなるしかない何者かに単独になり吹っ切れたレーゲンは明確な変化を起こしたその依頼このレーゲンあらたかが引き受けた町の清掃活動を始めたり除霊の様子をネット公開したり無料講座や人生相談も始めたりして活躍の場を広めつつもこの成功をきっかけに事務所の名前はどんどん話題になっていった誰かがレーゲンを調味師の兄などと呼び始めるとその知名度は加速し
How much time is
雑
passing?
誌からのインタビューを受けるまでになった
But he
さ
still
らに
has
そ
no
の数
friends.
日後テレビうまくテレビで人気を得られれば一気に芸能界の大物ですよそして霊能者の方々に来ていただいてます本日はよろしくお願いしますよろしくお願いします今回は悪い霊に取り憑かれたという人物をスタジオに招待はいはい
Boy, are we gonna embarrass ourselves?
かっこよく決めちゃったらファンとかできちゃうんじゃない
Oh, this is gonna be bad then.
よっしゃ緊張するけど
ここは気合の入れどころだな。とか思ってるだろう。今のうちにせいぜい浮かれてろ、バカめ。お前をテレビ局のプロデューサーに紹介したのはこの私だ。あの日のことは弟子から聞いているぞ。この情報キリンに飛び膝蹴りを入れたことを簡単には許さんぞ。徹底的に後悔
What are the chances of Mob hiding in the audience so that he could help him? Like... No!
So we'll see that in the next episode if that's a
Is there
possibility.
like a post-credit scene? Reigen, this was sad, boy. You really lost your cool there for a second.
Another great episode, even though this wasn't happy one. It didn't even
Okay,
end
okay,
on a happy
okay,
note.
but I feel like the next one, because it's going to be a continuation of it, I feel like the next one's going to be wholesome. Because now we are in a conflict, right? So the conflict is going to resolve in the next one.
Okay.
And so, like, the next one's going to be nice.
What do you expect?
Like, I expect Mob to come, help the teacher, like, with whatever this guy is doing. I don't know what he wants to destroy him. Because he punched him. I mean, kicked him. And I feel like Mob is gonna come, help. Reigen is not gonna embarrass himself in public. Maybe he will, actually. And then he's, like, all broken and alone. And then, like, Mob sees this happening on TV. and then like comes back.
But I don't want Mob to be Reigen's only friend.
No, first, that's not healthy. Second, love Reigen. Reigen is really, I think his heart is in the right place and everything, but it has been true since like the beginning. He is using Mob. Like, this is nothing new here.
He's manipulating
Yes.
him, even though he wants the best for him.
Like, that's what I mean. Like, his heart is not in a bad place, but he does view Mob in a way that, like, I mean, Mob was that way. Like, in season 1, Mob was being, like, manipulated by people. He would do really anything that people ask him to, but he has changed. He has really grown in this season.
Yeah.
And
even in this episode, that
Yeah.
showed so much in that scene with Reigen.
Yeah.
How much that he has grown. And I loved the talk that they had with everything that Reigen told him, no matter how rude and mean it was, and manipulating as well. He again wants to manipulate Mom into thinking that he needs Reigen.
Yeah.
But actually,
but the thing is, Reigen really
needs
does
Mob.
believe that Mob needs him. Like, Reigen believes what he's saying. Like, he has kind of he's not really aware that, like, Mob has really kind of grown up. And the people that he surrounds himself with are not people that would take advantage of him. And, like, he can actually, like, gouge out who is right for him and not. The growth is so visible because he drew boundaries between him and Reigen. Mm-hmm. Because Reigen was manipulating him.
Yeah, but like the thing is, in that whole scene, you can see that actually it's the other way around as well.
Yeah.
That he needs Mob.
Yeah, a lot. And I thought that part was very interesting.
I was very proud of Mob in doing everything
me
that he
too.
did, and when he told him he's not right, that he has to realize that not everything that he says is true. That, like, what Reigen says is true.
I love that,
and that
so much.
Those things that he said about him right now are not true, because he used to blindly follow him because things worked out at the end. Like, he did good at the end, you know?
I mean, everything that he followed, he's like, teacher says we can't use these powers on other people and everything. And, like, all of those advices were, like, sound, good advices, But I love that growth for him to realize that his teacher is only human. And, like, not everything he says is true and should be followed, especially not blindly, He can still follow his teacher's advice because, like, he deems him, let's say, a good person and everything, and, like, someone that he could look up to, but also he can't take his word as gospel because it's not, Reigen is a very flawed human, much like everyone else. And, like, everything that he said here was very selfish towards Mob.
Yeah, he used Mob's faith in him and trust that Mob had in him to win him back on his side.
I mean, again, he really didn't think Mob was having actual friends.
Yeah.
I think it's because, as humans, you start, like, your reference point is yourself. And so, like, Reigen doesn't have anyone.
Yeah.
And then he also thinks Mob doesn't have anyone.
Yeah.
A lot of what he was saying was also projecting.
Yeah.
So what we've seen from him in, like, the flashback, I think he was maybe fired, lost his job, whatever, and then he saw an ad in the paper that said, like, do you want to be a millionaire or whatever. I think that's how he learned to scam people. I mean, that's what he does for a living. Like, what do we expect? Like, the boy does scamming people for a living.
Yeah.
We've seen that, like, it was his birthday and he was all alone on his birthday. No one wished him a happy birthday. I mean, he got a text from his mother, right?
Yeah.
That was like, here's a birthday present. It was like a job posting.
And I hope you're not at that shady job anymore.
Yeah, she did
and
say
stuff.
that.
So something like that.
Yeah.
Didn't read the rest.
Yeah. So also his fingers were shaking about the press. Like, so really, like, he doesn't have a good home environment, family environment either. When he realized it was his birthday, he then went to the bar where the other people who he deems could be scammed because, like, they buy into everything people say to them. He went there, and we also learned that he doesn't drink alcohol. He can't handle alcohol. I mean, but, like, his mind is incredible. He went and vomited. He had zero. He didn't have a sip of alcohol. This guy didn't put alcohol in it. And after that, he, like, decided to concentrate on just his work, and he became more and more famous to the point where he is going on national television, where this guy's gonna screw him over, or at least try to. We'll see what happens there. But I like that we are finally actually seeing the progression of Reigen, because he has been like, he is really, I really love him. I think he's a decent person, but he has, you know, he has not grown in the way that Mob has grown, and so he needs that. And he needs to treat Mob with some like respect, and like respect his time and respect that Mob has agency over his choices. He needs to see Mob in that light. I think that's what we're going towards, and I really appreciate that we're doing that, because it's not like the show needed to do that. Like we could have just like moved on, but like the show really wanted to.
I like that they concentrated on his character and his development as a human as well. Yeah,
because again, this has been the case in season 1. We've been talking about how he like uses a child.
He's paying him pennies.
Literally.
The whole job that he does.
Yeah, so like again, the show could have just like continued that and used it as like comedic relief, because like it's funny and whatever, but like they actually wanted to concentrate on that, and I think develop his character. And so we hit a really low point when he was saying all these things to Mob. Now they can develop a healthy relationship, I think. And not really one that like relies on Reigen sort of looking down on Mob. And not treating him with agency, like Mob has agency.
Yeah, I really love the storyline that they put for the two of them and their relationship. I mean, the episode was funny. We had that scene when he was very pathetic and in the street and hiding and watching and being shocked that Mob is having fun and talking about
with friends
and talking about like how Mob 100% regrets his decisions.
And Mob is nothing, you know.
And Bob is enjoying his best life, not working at the age of 15, you know.
Yeah.
And then he saw Dimple, and Dimple destroyed him.
Dimple told him, Mob doesn't think about you.
Mob literally doesn't care. He hasn't mentioned you once.
Yeah.
This is maybe the last time we see each other. See ya, bye. And
Dimple lives for the drama.
Yeah. But like the beginning was very nice to see Mob. I mean, we knew that. To see Mob having friends. And I just love those scenes in school. We don't have them that often, but like I really enjoy him being a kid and like having friends and having conversation with his friends, and like now,
especially because he is surrounded by such good people. I mean, especially like the improvement, the body improvement club, like the telepathy club are all funny.
They're funny,
like they're normal, but like the body improvement club are like the best people that have ever existed. They're so supportive.
Yeah, it's
so
shocking.
Wholesome.
It's really hard to even believe that people like that exist.
Yeah, like they're just like ridiculously good and kind, and like the best thing that Mob could have done was join that club.
Yeah, and they still said like, I can't believe that you haven't given up, Mob. You have such a strong spirit.
Like at some point he's even gonna surpass us. Like they are so fucking sweet. They are so supportive. Everyone deserves people like that in their life. They're just gonna push you to be better and like be happy for your successes. What a great group of people. I'm so happy for Mob. He has like I love this development for Mob. He has so many friends. Like he is making his choices. He's not letting people walk all over him. I can't even believe
where he was in episode 1.
Me neither.
Like he's completely different kid right now.
Yeah. So
it's really nice to see that.
Yes, and so like I'm very excited that we're finally also addressing this part.
Yeah.
Because like he has changed in so many ways, but like he is also, you know, he has his master could like walk all over him.
Yeah.
And like now actually he can't. Now Mob is like drawing a line there as well.
And we're gonna also have progression for Reigen.
I love that. I love that so much.
Me too.
Again, I think the next episode is gonna continue with this storyline, obviously, and then you know it's gonna be the end of it potentially, and I think it's all gonna be great. They're gonna like reunite, and better boundaries are gonna be established, and they can have like a real like teacher-student
relationship.
Nice.
Without manipulating.
Yes. And that's a big part. That's it. I really enjoyed this episode.
Thank you so much for watching. Me too.
We'll see you next time. Bye.